Most uploads, yes. Anyway, so let's get started. Short overview about the agenda. I'll give a little bit of a talk thing first. I'll tell you what and how we do. I'll give a live packaging demo, just to put some concrete examples into what I'm going to say. And then it'll turn hopefully into a fruitful discussion about the various challenges that we have at with Haskell and Debian and possible solutions. And I have 4 or 5 bullet points for that, but we can also discuss other things. We have people watching us from IRC, from Germany, who got up early or stayed up late, I don't know, for that. So I'd be happy if someone could volunteer to relay questions from IRC.
Well, I don't know if assuming they're in English.
Okay, so just make sure whatever IRC people want to tell reaches us.
And this is on the DevConf
channel? On the room channel.
Okay, so room channel, I have to log into that. Okay.
Also, somebody who would like to take notes and send a mail to the Debian Haskell mail list afterwards, just to the summary. Alright, yes, like for those who want to
stand up and talk into this if you're going to talk for the stream.
Yeah, that's great.
There's only me, so it's hard.
Alright, so I need, I guess, one of us closer than Haskell team members would like to send a little mail to this afterwards about what they did. Great. Alright, so what is the Haskell group? It's simple. We maintain packages and we maintain the Haskell compiler, PHP. We maintain basically all Haskell libraries that are in Debian, and that's basically the main purpose of the group. This is the greatest challenge. We also have to maintain a few Haskell programs. Some are development related, some not. That's the main focus of both the talk and basically all our problems. So let's see how we're doing. So I tried to get some statistics. So this was the first table I got about how large our group is. And was surprised to find that we are maintaining the most packages in Debian. That is, if you count all versions that have been there, I think, or at least across all distributions, and all instances of binary packages in all architectures. So this is basically the naive result from the universal Debian database. So I tried to fix this. I only looked for unique packages names, so we got this. This is better. We are down to third place. Although it doesn't look right. The numbers are still too high, but that's because binary packages, and I finally found out the right query. So this is the table that reflects reality. So we're the third largest maintainer by package count, source package count. I guess there are some teams where it's not always the group in the maintainer field, so they, I think Python, so they are low on this. Of course, we're far behind package code, but everybody is. It's like somewhere out there. And we're about to catch up with package Java. And we're better than packages that are not being properly maintained, which is a good thing, I guess. So how do we do? That? Oh, who does that, basically? This is another table from the same source. Uploads in the last 6 months. And I'm not counting people who do the upload by signing it, but rather who appear in the changelog, so that non-Debian developers have a chance of appearing in the table, and it reflects more closely who does the work. And we see there's basically Clint and me, and a few others. So we will get back to this table, I guess, in the challenges when we talk about how healthy our team is and how well we're doing. Yeah, as you can see, it's most of the work is done by 2 people. But on the other hand, we also have at least a number of people who did something, so we're not completely alone, which is good. And we have some active newcomers like Sven. I think if I would put the time frame since he started doing something, he would have a larger fraction of the uploads. So I'm very happy with that. Alright. So it seems that we are few making a lot of packages. One could say that we are efficient in a way. So I tried to measure that. So again, same time frame, last 6 months, I was comparing the number of uploads with the number of persons according to this criterion. And by that, we are the most productive or most efficient team. So we have 56 uploads per maintainer in this time frame. And that's the average across all 12 that we just saw on the table. That's slightly better than what Package Pro and what the QT team does. Others are far off. Which might be that because they have more people. This is not a completely qualitative thing to say. So for those who are not already packaging Haskell libraries, what's special about Haskell packages compared to others? First of all, they are very homogeneous. So there's very little variation in how the packages look like, where you find the metadata, how you build them. Basically, it's declarative. Anything. So we have I guess I should just show one of these packages. So let's use Cabal, which is the upstream package manager, to get one of these. And we see there's some text files, and most important is this Cabal file, which is looks a bit like a Debian control file, which makes me feel at home. And it has things like license information, version, dependencies, and contents of the module. And then there's, of course, the source as well. So we'll come back to that. This is good because it allows us to spend little time on the individual package, because there's less surprise. And then the other thing that also helps a lot is a property of the language itself. If it compiles, it works. So most of the problems that we would face, like incompatibilities between various packages and versions, are handled by the compiler. So I'm reasonably confident my change to packages are okay if all the packages still compile. We do run test suites where they are in the packages, so we do have that as well. But it takes away the responsibility to do a comprehensive test after each build, because the kind of bugs that you would expect caused by mistakes in maintaining are those that the compiler would catch and will tell you about. So these are the upsides of packaging Haskell packages. There are downsides in a way as well. The first one is this metadata that I've just shown you. Here's this again. And you see it's relatively detailed. It only says what packages this depends on, but rather a very precise range of versions that this is known to work. And then the main school of how to do this in Haskell is to be rather conservative. So they use an upper bound if they know something will break afterwards, but if they don't know that it would not break, I won't look at so if I would upgrade now DList to version 0.8, I could not compile this package anymore without changing the package and patching. This is annoying. What's even more annoying is if they don't put it in there, I upgrade to 0.8 and then it breaks, although all the metadata that we have was indicating that it will not break. We're relying on it, not for correctness or for efficiency. So we can slow down any problems when these are actually not considered. But that's something that's not too commonly seen in other packages. And then the other thing, we have basically no API stability. What this means is if I change, let's go to this dependencies, if I were to change DList from 0.4 to 0.5, I would have to recompile this section we're looking at right now, and all data on dependencies, potentially. So with our 700 something packages, if I update the package very high in the dependency tree, it goes downwards, very low upwards, then I might have to rebuild 100 or 200 packages. And of course, that requires tooling, automation. We have that to quite an extent, so it's not a big deal anymore. It used to be much more difficult when Monolith didn't know about installability of those dependencies, and Packages and vulnerabilities have to be manually signed by the admin, and all these kind of manual work. So in a sense, I think that one can say that the challenges that Haskell has for Debian make Debian improve its infrastructure, because it's not up to it, or it was not up to it at this point, and then we had to improve it, and other parts of Debian benefit from it. So that's my excuse for getting on what Haskell and Debian. Which I can understand if they would. Okay, so let's have a look at how our work as a Debian Haskell maintainer looks like. These are roughly the steps I would do when I have to package a new package. So what does this mean? This package plan, I'll come back to it later in detail, but let's have a quick look. It's basically a repository here. It has a file called packages.txt. Font size in Vim is always, that's why I don't use gvim, I use Vim when I'm doing presentations. This is large enough. Okay, so basically you see the list of packages and version numbers, and now I also want to package glob in version C075. It's not yet in Debian, so I want to package it. I want to have this sorted. And then I have a little, not so little anymore, program that now verifies that this plan of changing Debian packages makes sense in terms of all the intermediate dependencies between the packages. So if glob were to depend on something that we wouldn't have in Debian yet, we would get a complaint in a few seconds. But it says, that is a bug. This problem is the right one. No error reported, so we're fine. And you can see that it tells me that I've added glob to the plan, but it's not in the archive, so basically that's how I do this. So this was step 1. Step 2 is to use the template Debian directory and adjust it. Okay, let's do that. I go to the...
Can you explain what this script did? The kind of big steps? Or are you going to...
I'll come back to the package later. I'll have a separate section for that. I just want to do the demo for us. I guess I should watch the time. So I'll create a directory for Haskell glob. So this is named by the Debian source package name. I guess go to a different name. So we have we have a template directory that we can use that has a changelog, a compat file, a control file, a copyright file, a rules file, a source directory, and a watch file. So what I use is just added one of them one after another. So the version number is 075, so I put that in here manually. I will have to change foo quite often now to glob, so I do that. I don't bother with ITPs, it's just too much work. And this is me now. That's it for this file. We don't have to change this. And this file, this is the main work, mostly the main work. I need to adjust the dependencies. So we have a template here for bindings that would depend on C libraries. This is not one of these, so we don't need that. I don't need this comment, it's just a reminder. Oh, I should have changed this one. And I usually do it first because then I usually use the dot in Vim to do the same thing. So I have to type it twice. So now the dependencies. For these, I have to look at this file. I know by heart by now which packages are provided by the compiler itself. That's space and containers and directory. So I just need to put dependencies on dlist, file path. File path is also provided by the TSC, so there's two dependencies, dlist and transformers. So I will put them in here. And this is how it's being mapped to Debian package names. And I also have to carry over the version range. That's very important. So it's from 04 to 08 exclusively, so it's good like this. And then the same thing for transformers. and this is from 02 to 06. And then we have the description. We have a little feature here that we have the description once in the source stanza of the control file because we reuse it with several packages. And then here, this actually does have to change. So anything from down here is identical for all our packages. When we're lucky, we can take the description from here. Here it's a bit short, but I guess it's for this package it's alright. So we'll put this in the short description. The long description is very creatively Haskell. This package contains a Haskell library for cloning. Because you know the policy that the long description has to be usable independent of the short one. So this is, I guess it's good enough. Otherwise we wouldn't package 700 things. Now this is annoying part, copyright files. I find that we spend too much time on them for too little value. So there should be, I would think we could use a little ease in what we expect to have here. So for the license, you just copy there. In this case, a bit more complicated because they didn't put the copyright in the license file, so I have to copyright in this other file they have. That's good. Unusual credits. These are the two people that have crit credits, so I have to put them here. And I don't actually know who benefits from me putting this information there. Seriously. But that's okay. I can live with, in Debian you have to live with things that you don't find, you don't fully agree on. And it's already 2004 by now. And then I have to indent this, so this works using this little line, and we lost it. There are no tests in this file, so I don't even bother with enabling them here. And we also have to change the watch file. That's it. So let's put this into a darks repository. And we can build. So to build it, I have some automation that helps me managing several packages. So I take this for release. And I can take several at the same time this way, and then I can mass build it. It's a bit much to say mass build just for a single package, but we can do it. So this will now take this Debian directory. Oh yeah. Glob is a tricky thing. We might remember that the upstream name had a capital G. So in this case, the watch file has to refer to a capital G, otherwise it doesn't work. So let's amend my patch and try to build it. Okay, and it will build and make it build. So while this is building, it's here, so we've done all this. Notice that Debian rule stays unmodified, this is good. So there's very little entropy in our control files, in our Debian directories at all, even. So that's a big plus. And I guess we could even improve it somehow. We did that. This is happening right now. And then I have to take and push the tag. And there's also scripts available in our tools repository to do this a bit more efficiently. So we're building. So let's have a look in parallel what happens if you want to upgrade a new package. It's similar. So again, we start by updating the package plan. And this is a bit more interesting this time. So where's our package plan? So these are upgrades that we need for anyway. So let's start talking. I want to upgrade math functions from the latest version. This is upstream. This is Haskell, where we get our source from. Notice a nice feature here that it tells us, or tells especially the users, that this package is also available in Debian in this version. But as you can see, this is not the latest version, so we want to go to the latest version in Debian. So let's try to upgrade math functions to this version. And I run this test packages script. And it will not verify that we can upgrade safely to this version without breaking anything. At least according to the metadata. And it will tell us that we can, but that we have pulled in an additional dependency. So there's a new package that this new version depends on, it, therefore we also need Debian. So I'll add this to the file and sort. And now it should go through. So let's go, yeah. We successfully built package log, and we will do the upload together with the other package in a moment. So let's see what we have to do. We have updated the package plan in the new version. We fixed any breakers, that was the second step. This is important, we always want the package plan to be consistent. Now we actually have to do the updating of the packaging. So for that, math functions. I have a little script that's it's not in the path anymore. Oh, yeah, there you go. It generates. Sorry. What I want to say is somebody else did a very cool thing. It imported our package into Git repositories. So now what this means, I can construct a URL that gives me the diff between arbitrary versions on package. So I can do the package review without even downloading stuff. And the script already figured out what is my version and what's the latest version. So I just ran this command. It's always my history, unless I stopped working for a few weeks. And I get this. I can now review the changes. Sometimes they have changelogs. Unfortunately, very rarely, changelog seems to be uncommon in Haskell world. This is not nice. Yeah, I can have a look. Looks like they had a test, which is nice. And of course, I'm mostly interested in the changes to the metadata, because this will tell me how the build dependencies have changed. For example, we see that there's a new one, user. This means I will have this available when I now do the changes here. So I do mass upgrade, which basically just figure out the version number, so I don't have to type it, and adds the changelog entry. And then I modify the control file. This is not up to date anymore, we don't need this anymore. And we know that it has changed. Oh yeah, this is a new dependency, of course. Would be strange if that were not there. So we also want to depend on vector th unbox in an arbitrary version. Okay, if upstream thinks that's fine, and let's hope that he's right. And this is strangely formatted. So let's fix this. And we also want to have a documentation package. The version range didn't change, but we also have a new dependency on deepsec, which is another many of these small packages. So we also put this in here. Sorry. This should be enough to do this upgrade.
You're missing a comment after prof.
Oh yeah, thanks. Yeah, that
There was one more.
another one? No, okay. That would have given me an annoying error message later, so thank you. Yeah. Okay, let's put it in here so it doesn't happen next time. This is also valid, so this is just more consistent. Then I amend the new upstream release that my script just created, and I take this for release. Now, if I now say mass build Haskell math functions, it will tell me after creating the source package that it can't build it, because obviously at a new dependency we haven't packaged that yet. And this is using either set check or do-set check these days. It will also detect that the other parameter I gave, you might have noticed this, Haskell glob, is already built. So it says, I don't need to build this package, I think it's a number, and this is what you build over. Now I've prepared the other one, the Haskell vector th unbox. So I just mass release it, which takes it for release, and add this to this command line, and you can imagine that this works well for like tens and dozens of packages that I have to upgrade simultaneously. Okay, so now this should now build them in the right order and make sure that they are built with each other. This is using S builder in case you you're interested, or just very small package scripts that happen to be very useful. So I'm doing this right now, I will do this in a moment. And later, because remember the API instability, I'll have to check if any packages have become uninstallable and schedule any use for that. Since 2 days, we have a new tool for that, and it looks like this. It's a cron shop on kubernetes.org that generates a file like this, and it will go through all the packages, see what needs to be done, and give me a suitable report. Currently, everything is commented out because we don't have anything to do right now. If we had something, it would appear there, and I just pipe it to vulnerable. For those who know what vulnerable is, for those who don't worry, it's important for you, I guess. This also means the packages are installable in Debian. You can look at this page, and if there are things to do, you can nudge me to apply them. It's a bit transparent now than it used to be. And you can also see what is failed, like criterion. Criterion fails a bit from source because its metadata was not precise, and the uploads I'm doing right now will help us towards fixing this. And I would have fixed it a few days earlier as I wouldn't have wanted the uploads to do now this administration. So this is step 6. Let's see how uploads are doing. Okay, we are building already math functions. It is built now, and I think that should be done. So yeah, it keeps upgrading the change root because I build new packages. And we're doing okay. So let's talk about this package planner. I think this is one of the most unique things that we do compared to other people in Debian, so this might be interesting for other maintainers as well. So we've seen that it contains basically a list of packages and versions. Contains a little bit more. Sometimes there are attributes that we use, such as a binary, for example. This means it doesn't produce the Haskell library, so it needs different ways to figure out the version number in Debian. It also needs to find out the package name. Is that a question?
Yeah, we have a question from
Yes.
our student. So Principants would like to know why you added deepsec.
Okay, I guess I could just simply do this.
Okay, sorry about that.
That's not easier.
There we go, yes.
Why did you put deepsec in the build depends when it's provided by GSC anyway? I thought it wasn't. Maybe I think it has changed someday. Okay, sorry, my bad. It used to be a separate package, not anymore. It doesn't turn in this case because the dependency is not versioned, so it'll do the right thing. If it were a version dependency, we would get a build dependence uninstallable, and notice I could fix it. So currently it just doesn't matter. But otherwise, you would notice the breakage. So it's nothing critical. But well spotted. Okay. Okay, successfully built. And now what I do now is mass upload, and it'll upload the changes, push the tags, push the changes, make sure I tag it. People sometimes forget to tag things, and it's confusing for other developers. And no, I didn't. Yeah, my bad. Okay, I forgot to actually push the repository first to any of the let's.
Don't you test it before the build?
Well, as I said, static close. Okay, so usually this would work. Let's just continue this point. But I think I want to give you an impression of how I'm managing these packages. It doesn't have to be the best way, but it maybe explains how we can manage 700 packages with mostly 2 people. And I guess Clint might be using some other tools. I don't know. But we can talk about it also later. Okay, so back to the package plan. So we have these metadata there. We also have attributes that, for example, no test means that we don't run test suite because maybe its dependencies are not something you want to run, or because the test suite is stupid or something else. We can add flags, which are like configure flags here, and it will apply them correctly. And then there are things like ignore that will make us temporarily ignore package. Then what happens then is that the script will read available packages from Debian, and will read available package from Cabal, from Hackage, compare to the list and report anything that's out of date, that's, for example, where Debian has a version newer than in the package plan, which is not allowed by our policy. And then we'll make sure that they're consistent. And this check is being done by the actual Cabal install program that everybody else besides us uses to install Haskell packages. So it constructs a command line that looks like this, which basically installs all the packages with the right flags, in the right version, and sometimes disabling tests or enabling them. And it's quite a long command line. I guess I should do this. It's 63 kilobytes command line, but it works. Yeah, it works fine. You just can't. The problem is you can't debug it by looking at proc kit command line because that's limited to 1 kilobyte. That's why I have to write it out to debug it. But yeah, it works.
This is every package then?
Every Haskell package. Yeah. What it also does, it allows us to patch things. So we have basically a copy of all our patches, at least those that affect the metadata, in this tree. And you can see that you can actually just copy over the patches file because it's a Quilt compatible format. So yay for Debian patches and yay for Quilt. Whatever way you package your packages, make sure that they end up with a nice series. I can also add Cabal files there that are not upstream, or so I should do it this way. For example, entails is a Debian specific fork, so this package is not there yet. Lens is a package that is on package, but has been modified in the metadata by package, so that the Cabal file that package reports differs from the Cabal file in the table. They do that so they can update metadata later. It's a new feature. It's great. It's just annoying for us. So whenever that happens, we have to fetch the original one and copy it here so they have it available. The package plan, yeah, and we've seen it test the installability. It's also run by Jenkins, so we have a set of Jenkins jobs. One of them is the package plan, and we can see that it's currently succeeding. Yay! And if not, we get a mail. So let's make sure that this invariant is preserved that I mentioned earlier. I go quickly through that. We have a few more tools. We have a package entropy tracker. It's something that the package code team had first, I think, and it gives an overview about the status of the packages in the VCIs, about upstream, about possible changes. It needs love. I think it has been running unmodified for years, and I'm lucky that it's running at all. But I think somebody should take care of it. I also have the impression that the PAT team itself is kind of dormant, so it's a pity. It's a useful tool. So if somebody feels working on this, that would be great. Then I've already talked about binning scheduling. I've just shown you the Jenkins job. There are further jobs that install all package packages. The job that tries to install all packages in unstable has been failing for 3 months or for 4 months. For various varying reasons. So sometimes it was a package that had to be removed that wasn't removed by FTP master. Sometimes it was something that we didn't fix in time. So this is a bit unfortunate. But at least, currently the only error it shows is the criterion error. That's one that I could have fixed a few days before. So maybe that could have been otherwise. The others are usually green, which is installing unstable, upgrading to testing, and installing testing. And these are not useful. These are experiments. Some of our packages have auto package tests. If you've been in the last talk, yay for auto package tests. And you've already seen that. Package knows about all versions. That's a script I run on people.debian.org in a cron job. So I'm run over a bus. Somebody will have to figure out how to do that. But that's a typical Debian problem. I guess I could document it somewhere. Just hard to find. Alright, so that took me a little bit longer than expected, but I hope it's still good insight and good starting point for the discussion. So these are some of the challenges, and I have numbers for them that I think we could discuss. Is there a question there?
Just to remind.
stand up.
Just if we the sources, there's also a Haskell page on the transition tracker.
Oh yeah, sorry.
You can see the installable and non-installable packages. It's updated every hour, so it's there. This one is the live version, it's broken, I think. You just have to find /medi on the network, and you have the version 1 that will be deployed at the end of the week. So it requires less packages, and it's more reckless.
Yeah, thanks a lot for that. I just forgot about it when I was doing this. I am using this.
Okay, so
yeah, please. We just need to be better at telling you how it can be improved.
Yeah.
Like it's not the perfect thing yet for us, but it's I guess there's improvement there. So I'll make sure I use it more. Thanks a lot for that. Okay, so the first question is basically, what should be packaged? Oh yeah, another point there? Yeah.
Just a question about library versions. You seem to pretty much just have the latest version of everything. Do you find that works? That, you know, enough people are writing Haskell programs to make sure that programs work with the latest version of the library? Because in Java we have the problem that, you know, if we were trying to package every dependency, we'd end up with 16 versions of the same library, which you can install at the same time. Because it's not that. And you mentioned yourself that no API stability.
So we have a policy of having one version of each package. It works okay-ish. We will see in a moment, it's two sides of that, where it doesn't work very well. Yeah, we sometimes can't upgrade to the latest version of something because it requires an older version of something else. Or it's because it's required an older version by something else. But there's movement in the Haskell community to always be compatible with the latest version. There are tools that check it there, like continuous integration tools for that people can opt into. We can maybe push that harder to upstream and encourage them to use these tools. We rarely have situations where we actually need to package two versions of a library yet. We had it in the past. I don't think it was actually required, but just preemptive problem avoiding for parsing and for quick check. Yeah, but usually it works okay. So this is, I think, an important point to discuss is what should we package at all, and related to that, what are our users? And you can see different distributions have a very different set of packages. So Fedora has fewer, but has some that we don't have, and all the other way around. This is proportional to the number. Nixo is packaging a lot, much more than we do, but still we have packages they don't have, so there seems to be a lot of arbitrariness there. So, what should we package? Obviously, we need all dependencies of programs in Debian. So if Joey decides that Gitnix needs library foo, that's a very compelling reason to package foo. That's basically the only reason I can think about. It's a hard reason. Then maybe you want to package very common packages that many people want to use. Seems to be reasonable, but that's keep that in mind. Maybe you also should provide packages that are hard to compile yourself because they depend on C libraries and stuff, which Cabal does not install by itself. So it's confusing for the user to get these. Maybe you should just continue packaging whatever we like to package and like to use. Maybe this arbitrariness is not a problem. And maybe there are other reasons. And related to that is basically the question, who are our users, if there are any? Who would use Haskell packages from Debian over Haskell packages from using Cabal install? And are we doing the best for them, or are we doing good stuff for a hypothetical Debian package only user that doesn't really exist, maybe outside of our own group? So yeah, that's all the discussion.
So question from IRC was the relationship of using stackage and how that fits into packaging here with.
Right. Stackage is this approach that I just mentioned, where people get notified about breakage, and where people, when they sign up for stackage, are encouraged to always compatible with the newest version. one attempt would be to say that we want to package all of stackage, or that we want to only package stuff that's on stackage. But I guess practically speaking, we'd be restricting ourselves to other people's decisions. We should definitely encourage people to use stackage, developers to use stackage, because it's taking away problems, or it's solving problems and detecting problems before they hit us, when otherwise we would be the first to notice. That answers the question.
Yeah, I think the only other question, the related question is whether there are things Stackage does that's part of it. How does it help us? How can we make it help the job for Debian easier?
So basically by being successful. I don't think Stackage needs to do anything differently, but it should be more prominent and more visible in the community, in the Haskell community. So if more packages use Stackage or are on Stackage, then you would benefit. I don't have anything right now that I would want from Stackage that to be better, besides more visibility. Yeah? No?
To answer that question, I was wondering if package published the statistics. So you would know if a package is more popular than another?
Good idea, yeah, I hadn't thought about that. It does, since a while, so we can downloads here in total in the last 3 days, so we guess we could.
Yeah,
query
it's
that.
really, there's a lot of workflows that download packages a lot.
So Joe is saying that there are lots of webflows that packages a lot, but I guess it's good to get the relationship between packages. But I'd like to get back to this point of who are our users? What is who are we doing this work for? Besides build dependencies of binaries, I think that's part of the question.
So, I'm generally in general wary of packaging things that I don't use myself in Debian. So maybe my personal opinion is your fourth bullet point your favorite library, or maybe dependencies are things that I use, stuff that I need in Debian because I need it for something that I use myself. Otherwise, I find that I'm generally not the best maintainer of these packages if I don't have too much of a personal interest.
Yeah. This goes into this next slide about upgrades, I guess. Let's put a radical point of view on the table. What if we only package dependencies, everything needed to get Cabal install running, and maybe nothing, and only things that are educational, that are required for people that are getting started with Haskell. They don't want to worry about Cabal install yet, like Gloss, for example, would be an example. It's a graphics library meant for teaching, and nothing else. And then have people use Cabal install. So will it be improvement? Would it be giving away?
Press the button.
Yeah.
Well, this is mute on it.
Yes, until it goes green.
Okay, sure. So when I started out writing Unix, and I didn't really know much about Haskell either, I had the problem of, while I'm targeting Debian, I'm targeting something that I want to be in distributions, but I'm finding all these libraries on package that aren't in Debian. So maybe you have a chicken and egg there.
That's true. In a way, we should be, or I guess we believe we are, I'm not sure if we really are, curating a set of packages that is supposed to be used, so it will be like a selection, and people can hopefully rely that packages in Debian are a bit more stable, a bit more usable than packages not in Debian. I don't think we actually live up to that at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I think part of it too is that you're living down the history of Debian Haskell packaging, which was more or less unusable a few years ago, and I think got everybody in the habit of doing everything out of Cabal. But I really am a big fan of the packaging minimum set of things you can do to Bootstrap for a couple of reasons. One is that obviously you're putting a tremendous amount of effort into all this, even with all your automation and tools and everything else. I would love to see your time be spent doing something other than packaging stuff that nobody's ever going to care about. but also because, yeah, I mean, I pick up that set of habits over the years. I'm like, no, I'm going to build it out of Cabal, and you know, there's less and less and less of the Debian packages that I bother to install, and then, like you say, the core packages that I need to get bootstrapped.
Right.
And so, and you know, that has its own set of problems. I certainly get that there's a complicated set of questions here. It isn't like something that's super easy to answer, but I would say less is maybe more for me, at least, because Debian is really most of my students and friends, I think they say this.
Okay, thank you.
Also, before I let go to Mike, thank you very much. I mean, seriously, this is a lot of work, and I really appreciate it.
Personally, I don't want to install anything with Cabal, so I package everything we use for Debian. So I would hope that other people would do that too. I have to go, but I wanted to suggest that somebody take a look at Bloomfilter because it fails to build on all 32-bit platforms. And
the compatible versions of it.
Right. Yeah. I guess that probably goes into this question of functional architectures and support for that. It's not open.
So just a quick question. So how does it look with stable? So basically, we're gonna pick a cut, slice and time. So is that good for the Haskell community or not? No, I'm not very familiar with Haskell, but maybe that's an argument for just packaging the core set. Or do Haskell developers just need to track
Platform
testing?
Yeah, I think Haskell unstable is not very useful for application buildings. Maybe, again, educational only. We have only 1 minute left. So I really would like the video team to stay because we have people on IRC that, but I guess that's hard to demand. So I guess we'll cut it off here. 5 minutes? Great, 5 more minutes. Let's see how often we can do this. Okay, yeah, please.
Just very quickly, sorry. We had this argument about Java earlier in the week about should we just package the compiler at the runtime and that's about it as it is for users. And our feeling then was that maybe this wasn't the best for our users. And maybe with Haskell, the best thing for users is just to give them a minimum bare minimum they need to bootstrap themselves. But our feeling was perhaps this sort of move towards don't bother with the distribution, just download everything.
But we're doing okay. If Clint would stop working it, if I would stop working it, we would probably do less good. Maybe if I stop working it and we get to switch to Git, people would, I don't know if that makes a difference. So maybe we can discuss that also in a hallway, whether we actually need to actively get more people to contribute and whether we can make it easier. This is related. I agree that Git has won. It's just that I'm used to this. We have 1 more minute. I won't get an extension this time, so let me just get out what I want to say. It's minor things. I guess if somebody would stand up and do all the conversion to Git and update my scripts, I wouldn't be in the way. But as long as nobody's doing the work, I don't care about enough. I'll keep using that. I guess, at least for a while. But it's not fundamental opposition. It's just, yeah, somebody has to do it. We could do it better on architectures. So maybe that improves as Haskell becomes more visible and more important with more products in Haskell. Shipping in Debian, maybe then porters will get more interested in helping us there. It's another thing that I'm not doing as good as I want to. Oh yeah, Colin, please. I guess that's your bullet point.
Still muted.
But I guess that's a long minute.
Thank you. It's as one of the few porters who's bothered, it's a very, very high barrier to entry for porters. Not saying they shouldn't, but we probably shouldn't expect people to turn up and want to fix GHC unless they really enjoy strange intellectual puzzles. So, I mean, I'm all for that, but let's not have expectations too high there because it is very, very difficult.
Right. So somebody has to do it. Okay, I think we have to thank the video team for giving us the extension, and I think I'll finish the official part here, and you can just keep sitting and talking. Thank you. And goodbye, Sven.